in 2012, and London has the Olympic.
Yes.
And then after that, there are a lot of regenerations happening in East London. Till today, what are the changes in East London?
So East London's going through a huge transformation. It's London's most exciting regeneration area. You mentioned the 2012 London Olympics. Well, at the same time the Olympics was delivered, the Docklands Light Railway was extended through the borough of Newham in between Royal Victoria Dock and the River Thames. Yeah. And that's completely unlocked the Royal Docks. Yeah. And in particular, the Riverscape site, the DLR runs just to the north of the site. It's a 2-minute walk to the station. So we've seen enormous infrastructure investment. Just last year, the Elizabeth line opened up at Custom House, and that's completely unlocked this part of London to the rest of London, central and west London. And so what we're seeing now is young professionals who maybe are working in central London or even west London can consider a residential home within the Royal Docks with really fast access to their place of work in central.
So infrastructure-wise, it's a lot of add-up things happening.
Yeah, and there's so much more. So in 2025, the Silvertown Tunnel will open up, and this is going to connect the Royal Docks by road to Greenwich on the south bank of the Thames. We also have the Emirates Sky Line, which is the cable car, which connects Custom House to Greenwich as well. And in 2019, Ballymore built a Thames Clipper pier, Royal Wharf Pier. And so actually for Riverscape residents, they can walk out of their door and straight onto the boat, which takes them along the River Thames to Canary Wharf, the City, London Bridge. It's the nicest way to travel. There's actually a cafe on board, so you can have a coffee on your way in the morning. So there's so many options.
Yeah, that's good. And then if we bring it closer, it's 2020, and this pandemic happened. And then you see a trend, or it's actually happening, is people who live in central London, Zone 1, Zone 2, and started to move to the outskirts or move to East London.
That's right.
Yeah. And do you see this movement is a temporary pattern, or it's a longer term of pattern?
That is a good question. What I would say, I think people are moving out for a couple of reasons. The rents have increased dramatically in central London since the pandemic. But also people's living priorities have changed as well. So people are looking for more green outdoor space. They're looking for flexible homework solutions, working from home solutions. And also I think people are looking for a stronger sense of community in the area that they live. They want to know their neighbours and their local retailers. And so what we're seeing is the migration eastwards of particularly young professionals, and so Newham as a local authority is actually one of the fastest growing areas in the whole of the UK, not even just London. Population growth of 14% in the last 10 years, but particularly since the pandemic. And what's interesting about those people that are moving into Newham and the Royal Docks is that they're very, very young. So 50% of those people are aged under 34 years old. So with Riverscape, we have a development which answers all of those living priorities that have changed since the pandemic. We had the advantage that we designed Riverscape whilst we were in the pandemic, so we have the opportunity to really think about how people use their homes. You needed more sort of flexibility for working from home. We've designed in a sky lounge on the 16th floor of our tallest building at Riverscape, so that can be a co-work space during the day, but it's also somewhere that you can invite your friends for a dinner party in the evening.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. And for this new project, Riverscape, what are the target group of audiences you're looking for, or you expect to be designed this for?
So a lot of the buyers at Riverscape are young professionals, either buying their first or their second property, often working in Canary Wharf or the city. We have lots of people working in finance, lawyers, and IT as well. But we also have families, and I think because the amenity provision at Royal Wharf is so complete, it's an established community with a very good primary school, nursery, doctor's surgery, and pharmacy, and a high street with a square. It's really attracting people who want that strong sense of community.
That's nice. In terms of special, because Ballymore always, the development always has something very special. Like the sky pool in the Embassy Garden, that was very impressive. Yeah. And what is the special of Riverscape?
Okay, that is a very good question. I'd say, first of all, the geographical location of Riverscape is very, very special. It's almost a 1 kilometre of south-facing River Thames frontage. And if you've been to London, you'll know that there's really not that much of the River Thames that's undeveloped. And we've got almost a kilometre of promenade and the pier as well. And then the development is bookmarked at either end with 2 parks, 2 London parks, 16 hectares in total. And so what you've got is an extremely open space, so I think that makes it really, really special. And it's probably the best positioned residential development to benefit from the £8 billion of regeneration in the Royal Docks. So I think that's very special. I also think the strong sense of community is a big selling point in it, and I think that's the reason why there's a waiting list of tenants wanting to live in Royal Wharf, and why we saw rents increase by 20% just last year alone. In addition to that, we have the Sky Lounge, which is exclusive to Riverscape. As an amenity.
Nice. Today is the second day of the first phase, the Foshan's launch in Hong Kong.
Yes.
It was very popular. We see people outside of the crowd. How was the market so far? Responses to the project so far?
So we've been absolutely delighted with the response so far. And actually, I don't know if you know, but it was the global launch yesterday. So we also launched in the UK. We've had over 200 groups come through across the weekend. It's been very, very popular. Obviously, there's been more uncertainty in the markets and challenges, such as with interest rates increasing. But I think when people see the value proposition that we have, and we have River Thames homes at a very affordable price point, it's very attractive to people. And what we're seeing is a supply shortage in the London market. And I think and that's why we are confident that actually Riverscape is the best investment to benefit from that capital growth we're going to see in the Royal Docks over the next 5 years with all the future investment that's planned.
Brilliant. And for the Hong Kong buyers, what are the popular unit type? Or are they looking for an investment more or self-live more?
So the buyers that I've spoken to so far this weekend, probably the 3-beds are the most popular. And I would say that a lot of people are looking for something which they could use for themselves, but also which would be a good rental investment. They're looking for the flexibility of both. I think people are very attracted to the established community and the strong delivery that's we already have with the previous development, Royal Wharf. And I think they've been very attracted to the outdoor space on the balconies. Foreshaw's combines the best elements of all the buildings at Riverscape, because we have the outdoor balconies and we have huge picture windows, which really help to take in the views of the park and the river.
You can see the river in front and back is a park.
Yeah, you can actually sit in the windowsill, read a book, and watch the